Yes, internet people, good afternoon. I hope you're watching this video. Today I want to show you some bit of progress with our plants that we planted 39 days ago and how they have thrived the past 39 days. When you look at these cabbages that we have planted, these are hybrid cabbages that we planted, and they have actually now sprouted out, and we are growing them directly into this small container. We're trying to do what we call eco-friendly environment. So instead of wasting these buckets, we decided to put soil, and we're monitoring the soil moisture level in the soil, and we are able to grow this other also with the spinach. If you could see how they're growing, these plants are actually doing very well. Today we did a little bit of transplanting. If you notice, you realize that one of the, I think, yeah, it should be the spinach. It's actually we planted it today, so it got dehydrated. So if we rehydrate it, probably we would be able to have the plant standing strong, just like that. And we also decided to do a little bit of transplanting of these hybrid tomatoes. So the tomatoes are very many, and the onions we planted here. These beans are just 1 week, and you can see how they are growing. Actually, these are bush beans, which we bought from Namibia, and this is our day trying to show you how they are really growing. Okay, so the beans have just taken only 1 week, these other beans, but I'm going to show you the other beans that we planted for the past 39 days. They have actually decided to, okay, they've tried to bear some bit of fruits, the seeds I mean. So we'll see the seeds in their pods. And this is other more tomatoes that we planted. We have other big tomatoes here, which are about 40 days. We planted this a little bit earlier. Now you could see that this is the beans I'm talking about. So you see the pods. The beans are actually inside the pods. I try to show you closer. There's also another one from the pod. This is within 39 days. Okay, so that means even these ones are flowering. We can actually harvest these crops in, if we continue regulating and monitoring the soil moisture level. We have some bit of this other plant is called the pepper, green pepper and red pepper. So this is, I think the soil moisture level is actually getting towards below the minimums. That means the soil is wet. That's why we have that yellow leaf. Our data should be able to tell us. So we still have also other cabbages here. Actually, they're growing very well. If you look at it, they're pretty healthy. So I'm actually impressed with our work so far. Now the only problem we have with these other plants is that they're crowded. We need to do a little bit of transplanting. And now you notice that we also added more bags. Because we don't have space here in our home gardening, this is the only space we have. Up to the other side is a building. We want to put some bit of the rabbits behind and the chicken, so that we can start a little bit investing from crops and also some small animals. So if you look at this, you can see this is a problem of not watering, but they were actually grown here. They were very long, so I decided to transplant them today. But now I'm getting a little bit setback because I didn't do the watering and they are falling down. Probably they would also die, but we need to make sure that they get up. So this is the beauty of doing the home gardening. I'm saying this because from my experience, if I look at these cabbages, these carrots, I need to just transfer them. We have prepared, this is where we do the planting of the seeds in the nursery beds in this small container. You see, we are not spending a lot of money. We're basically trying to use this bottle from drinks, probably carbonated drinks like soda, yeah, probably soda and other drinks that we will talk about them probably later. Now if you look at also these cabbages, they're actually growing. So any small thing that we use, this our watering can that we use for watering our home gardening, and of course We are in the process of starting the hydroponic farming, which is also going to take place here in this small space, because this small space is going to be almost how we're going to use it for 3 items: to grow the plants, seed crops, and also to grow apart from growing the seed crops, we will also grow the root crops, and we will also try as much as possible to have some chicken and rabbits behind, because we basically want the rabbit urines, which are very useful. It's very profitable business that we want to try. We are going to have the chicken, and we also want to start doing some bit of the maggot rearing, because we want to feed this chicken on the maggots. So hopefully what I know here is going to be mostly the tomatoes and the onions, because we're going to expand, put more bags behind there. That space is really enough space, and then we will try to make sure that we have as many crops growing. There's some noise in the background coming from those bikes, but just ignore them. So this is the size of our home gardening. When you look at it, we decided to make sure that the theme color is white, basically for the garden. I don't know how realistic that could be to have soil and then white, but probably it would come out just like the way you're seeing it. But ideally, we're aiming at around December to actually harvest these crops and start feeding small home or families. But my idea is basically, after getting this, get people to cook, then go and distribute it to other people. I've actually tried also to learn how to deal with crop pests, and of course I would call them some diseases as well. You could see how they are greatly affecting this. Kind of deprived, has not grown well. We also have the tomatoes there, which is growing very well, and those are also still tomatoes. So this is what we are trying to do in this project. But I hope if we continue and expand this, our garden is going to be a great garden, a great home gardening. Our approach is to make sure that people should be able to make good use of any small space that they have around their compound, and that's our target. So once we succeed in this, we believe that these crops are really going to grow. You see, I have a very big space here. If I show you behind here, so you can look. So behind here, we're going to have the chicken houses, and then the one for the rabbits. Probably the chicken would be down, the rabbits would be slightly up, but I don't know, vice versa. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. And of course, these buckets, for your information, I just buy an entire carton of this detergent, then transfer them in a bigger bucket, then reuse these buckets. The reason why I prefer this is the material they use for the plastic is actually durable. That means you can use it for a long period of time, specifically unlike this other one, which is kind of weak, but this is very strong. I actually want to talk to this company to make for us bigger buckets, and we just buy from them. That's something that we want to do in our next project. But basically, if you look at what we have been doing here, we've been doing these experiments trying to grow crops from the home gardening. I'm also not pleased with these ants. I don't know how I should deal with them. You see, these small ants are actually affecting some of these crops. You see, the leaves are kind of like being eaten by this pest. So this is some of the challenges we get as farmers. But just have to tell you something very nice, is that when you have this, you can have your beans in the pots like that. Although we spend a lot of money trying to buy basically trying to buy the seeds. We already seen how they are growing. We've learned a little bit from them. So by the time we're going to start, we want actually to grow this in a season where we're not actually receiving any rainfall completely. And I think the season is kind of complex in Uganda. But we'll try our best to make sure that with every resources that we have, we can actually expand this home gardening and stretch to see how it will feed quite a bigger number of people. So I was telling you that anything we will harvest from here, we'll make sure that we get some people to prepare, cook, and then distribute it to the needy people. Not that we don't need, it would actually be good for us to eat our own food, but I am quite confident that there are going to be very many, and since I live by myself, and in most cases I don't cook, so it will be very difficult for me to consume all this. But of course, probably also give some to the neighbors. And I believe this tutorial helps you. And instead of guys wasting time going to the gym, this is where you could try. Could actually ferry these things onto a small wheelbarrow and then load it in a small area that you have, and you can see how it makes the place looks beautiful. And this is just the beginning. We're trying to experiment. Our main intention is to even do some put of slabs where are walkways, which we're going to do it so that you do not have to walk directly onto these dirty roads. We will try to make sure you walk in a very nice pavers. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to give you as an update. This was the kind of the ordinary irrigation that I was trying to talk about, but for some reasons we will not use it because the plants are actually growing very well, so there was no need to interfere with our normal irrigation processes. But I will be very happy if I've automated most of this task, because my main goal is to avoid the business of going to the garden and try to monitor your garden on the phone. I know the kind of farming is going to be like for the rich, but it's going to benefit a number of people, for those of you who love to do farming and love to do home gardening. So I hope this helps you, and I hope this inspires you to start growing your crops in your small garden. I can't show you everything because all I need to show you is basically this garden that I'm actually working on. Let me try if I can show you my face. Yeah, so this is me from the farm. Probably a number of you have seen me on my YouTube channel, and please, also this has started flowering if you look at it. So, and this one I planted it just a week, and you see how fast they are really growing. So I hope this helps, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. See you on our next podcast or more videos. Today I want to try to post as many videos as possible to allow people learn from what we are trying to do in our home gardening. And when I introduce the rabbits, the chicken, I think that's going to be a little bit amazing. All right, thank you, peace out. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, support this channel, especially if you love growing your own food. I know if you grow your own food, you would actually save more money. You won't be going to the garden, to the market to buy most of the food stuff. But otherwise, thank you for watching. See you on the next episode. Peace.